Hello, I am HAANI from the USA. Today, the story I'm going to tell you was sent to me by one of my subscribers from Arizona. Before we begin, make sure to like this video. Not later, right now, because I know most of you fall asleep halfway through. Now, let's begin. My name is Daniel Carter, and today I want to share the most terrifying incident of my life with you. This incident completely broke me. For a while, I felt like I was losing my mind. But slowly, I gathered myself and realized something. As long as we exist in this world, we might encounter things we can never explain. My family lives in Phoenix, Arizona, in the Maine city. But due to work, I was stationed near a remote border area between Arizona and Nevada. This happened during the COVID lockdown. Everything had shut down. Workers were being sent home. People avoided each other. Even standing close felt dangerous. After finishing all my work, I finally decided to drive back home. It was around 6 p.m. when I left. I was driving my own car, so I wasn't worried. The road was long, but manageable. Or at least, that's what I thought. The outer areas where I worked were mostly empty, dry, deserted. But I crossed them safely. On the way, I stopped at a roadside diner, had dinner, and rested for about 2 hours. Everything felt normal. Too normal. By the time I resumed my journey, it was around 11 p.m. That's when things started to change. Suddenly, it began to snow. The weather turned aggressive. My house was still 2.5 hours away, and the road ahead was mostly deserted. At first, it was just light snowfall, but then it turned into a heavy storm. And then, I saw it, a roadblock. Because of the storm, the main highway had been closed. I couldn't go forward anymore. There was only one option, a shortcut road a few miles back. But that road, people avoided it, even during the day. I had heard stories, weird stories. People said the place was haunted, but I never believed in such things. I thought maybe criminals used that road and people spread ghost stories to keep others away. So, without thinking too much, I took the shortcut. At first, everything seemed fine, but I had barely driven a few miles when suddenly, a black cat appeared in front of my car. If my headlights weren't on, I would have never seen it.
The cat was sitting in the middle of the road. Not scared, not moving, just staring directly at me with glowing red eyes. I even laughed a little. I honked loudly, again and again, but the cat didn't react. It just kept staring at me, as if it wasn't afraid of anything. Finally, it slowly walked off into the bushes. I shook my head and continued driving. The road ahead was completely silent. No lights, no houses, nothing. Only my headlights cutting through the darkness. And then, suddenly, my car jerked and stopped. My heart sank. There was no signal, no help, and no place to stay. I stepped out of the car, trying to figure out what was wrong, but I had no idea how to fix it. Frustrated, I climbed on top of the car and looked around. And that's when I saw something. Far, far away, a faint line of light. Without wasting time, I turned on my phone's flashlight and started walking toward it. Couldn't stay in the car all night. Closed spaces always made me uncomfortable. Kept walking, walking, but the distance didn't seem to decrease. Felt like the road was getting longer and longer. And then suddenly, I heard a sound, a sharp, disturbing sound, a cat's scream. Froze, slowly, pointed my flashlight toward the sound, and what I saw made my heart stop. It was the same black cat, standing there, staring at me again, those same glowing red eyes. This time, it didn't laugh. The cat was still staring at me, unblinking, unmoving, almost as if it was waiting for something. I placed my hand on my chest, trying to calm my racing heartbeat. "Relax, it's just a cat," I whispered to myself. Out here, alone, even the smallest things start to feel terrifying. I ignored it and continued walking toward that distant light. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. After walking for what felt like forever, I finally reached the spot where I thought the light was coming from. But there was nothing there. No house, no building, no light. I frowned. Was I imagining things? I muttered. Just as I turned around, my entire body froze. Standing right in front of me was a woman. She was dressed in black. Her long hair was flowing in the cold wind, and her eyes, they were glowing faintly, even in the darkness. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. What was she doing here, in the middle of nowhere, at this hour? Even the bravest man would hesitate in a place like this, but here she was, standing calmly, smiling. Her smile, it didn't feel normal. It felt unnatural. Still, seeing another human being gave me some relief. At least I wasn't alone anymore. I stepped closer and said, "Hey, is there any auto repair shop nearby, or any place I can stay for the night? My car broke down." She didn't answer immediately. She just kept smiling. Then finally, she spoke. "This place isn't deserted," she said softly. "Look around. Can't you see how lively it is?" Her words sent a chill down my spine. Lively? There was nothing here. Absolutely nothing. For a moment, I thought maybe she wasn't mentally stable. I forced a slight smile and said, "All right, can you at least tell me where I can find help?" She slowly raised her hand and pointed in a direction. Her fingers, they looked strange. Long, thin, and her nails, they were sharp, almost like claws. "There's a small road on the left, near where your car is," she said. "Take that, and you'll find a workshop." I nodded quickly. "Thank you," I said, and turned back. But as I walked away, I couldn't shake off the feeling that she was still watching me. I reached my car and started searching for that road. "Left side," she said. But no matter how much I looked, there was no road. Nothing. I walked around again and again. Frustration started building inside me. "What the hell?" I muttered. I had already wasted so much time. I should have stayed at that diner. At least I wouldn't be stuck in this nightmare. Angry and tired, I shouted into the darkness, "Hey, I can't find the road. If you're still here, please help me." The moment I turned around, my scream echoed through the empty road. She was sitting on the trunk of my car. I hadn't even heard her approach. She suddenly burst into laughter. But that laughter, it wasn't human. It sounded like multiple cats screaming at once. A cold wave of fear rushed through my body, but somehow I forced myself to stay calm. I can't find the road," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She slowly lifted her hand again and pointed. "Right there," she whispered. This time, I followed her finger carefully, and suddenly, there it was, a road, right in front of me. My eyes widened. "I've been here for so long. How did I not see this?" I whispered. I didn't question it further. I just nodded and said, "Thank you." I started pushing my car toward that road. She stepped down from the trunk and began walking beside me. I could feel her presence right next to me, but I didn't look at her, not even once. Something inside me was telling me not to. After a while, I saw it. A small workshop, dim light, old structure, but it was there. Relief washed over me. I turned around to thank her, but she was gone, completely gone. And in her place, sitting on the road, was that same black cat, staring at me with those red, glowing eyes. At that moment, a terrifying thought crossed my mind. Was she the cat?
I kept staring at that black cat, sitting there, completely still, its red eyes locked onto mine. For a few seconds, I couldn't move. My mind kept repeating the same thought. The woman and the cat, they're the same. Before I could react, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I flinched hard and turned around. Standing behind me was a boy. He looked around 14 years old. "Sir, do you need help?" he asked calmly. I exhaled deeply. Finally, a normal human. "Yes, my car broke down," I said quickly. "I've been trying to find help for hours." The boy nodded and pointed behind him. "There's a workshop here," he said. I looked past him, and there it was, a small old workshop, dim yellow light flickering inside. Relief flooded my chest. "I didn't even see this," I whispered. The boy smiled slightly and said, "Come, we'll fix your car." I followed him inside. The cold outside had become unbearable. My coat and shoes were soaked from the snow and rain. I took them off and placed them aside. Inside the workshop, there were 3 more people, an old man, a middle-aged man, and a woman. They all looked at me, but didn't say much. Something felt off. But at that moment, I didn't care. I just wanted my car fixed. The boy brought me a hot cup of coffee. "Here, sir, warm yourself," he said. "Thank you," I replied. My hands were slightly shaking as I held the cup. I tried making small conversation, asking where they lived, how long they had been there, but their answers were short, almost forced. A strange silence filled the room. After some time, the boy came back and said, "Sir, your car is fixed." I stood up immediately. "Really? That fast?" I asked. Before the boy could answer, the old man spoke. "Son, it's very late," he said in a slow, heavy voice. "This place isn't safe at night." My heartbeat slightly increased. "You should stay here until morning," he continued. "It's better for you."
For a moment, I hesitated. The storm, the road, that woman, everything was already too much. But then I looked around. 1 room, 4 strangers, a man, a woman, an old man, and a boy. Something didn't feel right. I forced a polite smile. "I appreciate it, but I really need to get home." The old man looked at me carefully, as if he wanted to say something more, but he didn't. I took out some cash and handed it to him. "Thank you for your help." The boy nodded. The others stayed silent. I quickly walked out, got into my car, and started the engine. It worked perfectly. Without wasting a second, I drove away, back onto that same road. I pressed the accelerator. I just wanted to leave that place as fast as possible. But as I drove, a strange feeling crept in, like something was still following me. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. "Just a little more, just get out of here," I muttered. And then I saw her again, standing in the middle of the road. That same woman. Black clothes, long hair. "What the hell?" I whispered. I drove past her. This time I didn't stop, but something inside me forced me to check the rearview mirror. The moment I looked, my blood ran cold. There was no woman. Instead, there was a black cat sitting in the back, inside my car, its red eyes staring directly at me. I immediately turned around. Nothing was there. My breathing became heavy. I looked back at the mirror again. The cat was still there, watching me, waiting. I felt like I was losing control.
Without thinking, I started reciting prayers under my breath, over and over again. And suddenly, the car sped forward, as if something had let go. I didn't stop. I didn't look back again. I just kept driving, faster and faster. But the road, it didn't end. No matter how far I drove, it felt like I was still trapped in the same place. And that's when I realized this wasn't just a road anymore. It was something else.